Eve and Cole are great storytellers.
They are.
I'm excited for this. Sorry, podcast fans. I'm not here to hate on this at all. I'm going to enjoy every episode. I'm sure of it. It is funny, though. Word to Elliott Wilson that Kendrick has all these guys reminiscing on their careers to remind us how good they were.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. J. Cole has taken to Instagram to announce a new project. The artist calls it a new limited audio series titled Inevitable, featuring unreleased music and J. Cole's personal anecdotes of his career. Eager fans have taken to the comment section, wondering if this means a new album is on its way, as J. Cole explains that fans will be able to hear some of his forgotten past tracks. Inevitable is hosted by J. Cole himself alongside his manager Ibrahim Hamad and longtime collaborator Scott Lizer. J. Cole promises that the audio series will be raw and reflective and include an unfiltered voyage through his life, career, and personal evolution. In addition to revealing unreleased songs, Cole will be recounting his journey from his early days as a young aspiring rapper to finally seeing his dreams become a reality, despite the many hurdles and pitfalls he faces along the way.
Eve and Cole are great storytellers.
They are.
I'm excited for this. Sorry, podcast fans. I'm not here to hate on this at all. I'm going to enjoy every episode. I'm sure of it. It is funny, though. Word to Elliott Wilson that Kendrick has all these guys reminiscing on their careers to remind us how good they were. How come Elliott got killed for that? Was I the only one that found that joke funny?
Yeah.
After 100 gigs and that, all of a sudden now everyone wants to reminisce and show us how.
Yeah.
I mean, Puff's kids are doing it for Puff and for different reasons, but I mean, it is nice that artists are controlling their story. That is what I really do appreciate. I can't speak. Appreciate about this. Same way we said about
artists not always control their story.
No.
Well, artists the caliber of J. Cole and Drake.
There was.
Do you think Drake and J. Cole don't control their story?
Well, I grew up on VH1 Storytellers.
I'm asking
that same guy's voice, who I don't even know. We still don't know who the fuck that was. That might have been the first AI voice.
Cool.
Artists never got to control their story.
All right, cool.
They're not the hero.
Behind the music, never.
Cool. I'm asking you, do you think Drake and J. Cole don't control their
But that's not what he said.
Yeah, no.
What he said was, I'm happy that artists are now controlling their story because in the past,
Okay, and I'm
No,
asking you,
old artists,
you don't remember.
when has Drake and J. Cole not controlled their story?
Okay, so I don't think you're comprehending.
you're missing
I am
what I'm saying.
comprehending. I'm asking you, when has Drake and J. Cole not controlled their story? Tell me a time.
I don't know it. I don't know the doc outside of an album rollout that was specific to the album that they have ever done, because they were still coming up. They're just now veterans, where they could do the history of their careers on their own time, instead of VH1 Behind the Music, where they would get 30 press people that had never met these people whatsoever and be like, a source told me that this happened. They would just have talking heads that didn't even know those artists.
That's never going to stop, though, no matter who the artist is. You're going to have outlets.
No, of course. And mind you, I'm also fine with other people doing docs on other people. Like, I think Cootie doing the genius shit, even though Kanye sort of had a hand in it, Cootie telling that story was really cool to me. But I also like when artists are able to tell their own story, because they were the only ones that were actually there the entire time. And this isn't like an interview where you need hard-hitting questions. This is just their story and their come up. So I'd rather Drake give us 100 gigs so he can show us exactly what happened that day, rather than someone that happened to know Boy Wonder's sister could go to VH1 and then get an AI voice to be like, well, then Drake cut this today, and he was really down that day. I like this. I want Eve and Cole to tell us about St. John's. I don't need another Netflix doc to tell me that. They were in that dorm room.
I'm just
not Netflix.
When they wasn't able to do that. I mean,
they haven't been at a point in their career to do the history of. They're veterans now. They weren't veterans before.
And he also never said that they weren't doing. He never said that they didn't do it before. He's just saying artists these days are able to do that, where in the past, back in the day, the legends that we have were not able to tell their own story. The documentary.
The closest thing I had to Kanye shit before he started controlling his narrative was pictures of the car accident that everyone had already seen of his face swollen, and then some guy from VH1 telling us about it because he was reading an article from the LA Times that day. That's all I got from the come up stories, unless Kanye was talking on Last Call. Like, I didn't know the stories.
It's different now with social media. You kind of get the artist's story daily.
But in like
some of these artists
doc form?
No, not in doc form. I mean, documentaries have been around forever, but I'm just saying, I think that this is a long form, just what they would post on socials, what they would post on their story, their IG. I like it. I'm not mad at it, but when you say I'm glad that they're able to, I feel like a guy like J. Cole and Drake have always been able to.
But here's the difference.
Their own story.
Nobody.
There's a big difference between if he were to post.
When I'm saying nobody, it's not that nobody cared. What I meant by that is they're at legendary status now. It's the same thing with Rory, like with Elliot's joke. Like, yeah, everybody is trying to go through their careers. Yeah, because now they're like heading towards the later portion of their career. Nobody wants to hear about your story when you're in the middle of your prime, or like when you're like we want you to be a legend before we want to really, really hear about your story.
And it's very back to narcissism. If you are doing docs about your career and you're like 2 albums in, that's very narcissistic.
Lil Baby did something like that.
Cole is now, I actually really like that Baby doc. I don't think it was about his career.
It's more about
in life, like legendary status. It was really just where he was at currently.
Okay. That's
from the early days to now. But Cole, this being his quote unquote last album, The Fall Off, I think it makes sense to do something like this. And let's say Lights Please came out in 2024 and he was able to post the video of him making it. Cool. I think it's different when someone 20 years later can look back at that footage and now have a different perspective of Lights Please at that time, rather than them just posting it and us being able to see it.
Yeah,
I think it's way cooler.
Didn't he give us a documentary for Forest Hills?
Yeah, but it was more so about that specific house and what it meant.
It was about around the album.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Come Up was one of his first mixtapes.
Yeah,
at
but
St. John's.
To Rory's point, this chronicalizes his whole career. That doc, which was great for the 24 Hills one, was specific just to that time period, that album. A little bit of history because, like the home being significant to his childhood, but that was all wrapped around the theme of the album. This is going to be his whole career.
Next week will be the final episode. Thank you for being a part of our story. Shout out to Mandy and Weezy. You guys are podcast legends. Horrible Decisions is
For sure.
I mean, to me, in the history books for podcasting. You guys changed podcasting. We appreciate you.
Wait. Because I like to dig into what they saying. They said we're ending this chapter of Horrible Decisions. What does that mean?
Because I wouldn't be surprised if they do something else, maybe a pop-up live show, or maybe they're going to do something else. That brand is not going away. The podcast is going away.
They both do so much other stuff, and they've been very transparent with their fans for years. Like, outside of just their relationship as friends, they've had therapists on the podcast trying to get them back to being friends. They've also been very open about having other ventures and Horrible kind of not being a priority to what else they're doing, that they're, coming in and knocking this shit out in 1 week for a season and then going about their business to do other stuff. So this wasn't really like a shock to me with this announcement. I've actually been expecting this announcement like 5 years ago. But
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now
I'm so happy it didn't
happen. I was about to say, listen, man.
No, I love both of them, so I'm happy it didn't happen.
Listen,
it's too good of a brand.
That's the homies. Love them. But I'm just saying, like, bittersweet news for who? Like, I think anybody that knows y'all know that shit was like, I don't even. When I used to see new episodes, I'll be like, word? It was a surprise. Like, word? They still recording? Because when I'm around them, it's like, I don't even know if y'all speak to each other.
Yeah.
So it's like to see
when we did their show in Atlanta and they were in the same green room, I was like, oh, this is refreshing.
Yeah, how long ago was that? 2 years ago?
A minute ago, yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
They have their ups and downs, which they talk about. It's not anything that we're spilling.
But I think recently they've been in a good place. I think this is mainly coming because Mandy is moving to Atlanta.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it's harder to come to New York.
Weezy has been back and forth between LA and New York.
She's been in LA way more.
Yeah, like that don't mean
I fucking miss my friend. She's in LA all the time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, she's in LA more now. Mandy is no longer in like New York, just waiting for her. She's gonna be in Georgia. Like, I don't think that it's ending because of them. I do think it's ending because of other ventures.
It's ending because of them. They decided they don't want to.
They don't lock in for a week and shoot like half a year of content.
Yeah, they
wanted to.
But I'm with Maul with the cryptic writing. We decided to end this chapter of Horrible Decisions.
Leave the door open.
This
chapter. They didn't say we decided to end Horrible Decisions.
They're gonna make money off that brand until they can't make no more money off.
And they shouldn't. It's a great brand.
Yeah.
But shout out to Mandy and Weezy. Good luck with whatever y'all decide to do. Y'all have the support of Rory and myself, and I'm sure plenty of others. So,
and I mean, look, Cole and Ebe are now filling that void. Like that, the Horrible Decision door is closing.
That's the new Horrible.
Ebe don't be pegging people.
Ebe is pretty much the new Weezy, is what I'm saying.
That's on brand for.